a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Hagrid's hair was matted with congealed blood, and his left eye had been reduced to a puffy slit amid a mass of purple and black bruises. There were many cuts on his face and hands, some of them still bleeding, and he was moving gingerly, which made Harry suspect broken ribs. It was obvious that he had only just got home. A thick black traveling cloak lay over the back of a chair, and a haversack large enough to carry several small children leaned against the wall inside the door. Hagrid himself, twice the size of a normal man and 3 times as broad, was now limping over to the fire and placing a copper kettle over it. Welcome to the restricted section. And today, for the low, low price of listening, you too can learn that liking Harry Potter is not a personality trait. If you haven't done the reading, don't worry, we did it for you. Here's what we're talking about this week. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Chapter 20, Hagrid's Tale. Hagrid's back, baby. We finally get his tale, or part of it anyway. He tells Harry, Ron, and Hermione about how he and Madame Maxime traveled into the Alps to chat with the giants, and it did not go as planned. And then Umbridge comes to call. And did I mention that Hagrid is just like throwing around a giant slab of raw dragon steak during this whole scene? I'm waiting for us to start recording to do this. Oh my god, wait, it's so wet. Hold on. It's so damn The listeners don't know what it is yet.
It's a mystery.
Be careful of your eyes.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Was it really loud? I didn't hear it at all.
It wasn't that loud, but it was loud enough that there's a sound bit, but Zoom definitely took it out.
Okay. Oh, great. So Zoom was protecting me.
Yeah, Zoom was protecting your ears.
Okay.
That was my last mystery bottle of bubbly from the New Year's Eve party.
Nice.
I don't remember permitting any leftover bottles, if you catch my drift.
I do.
But there was one when I woke up the next morning, along with so fucking many shitty beers. Like so many Bud Lights, and like Michelob Ultras. Guys, I thought I'm already like podcasting. I forgot to start the podcast. I thought we were beyond this shitty beer phase of our life. I thought my friends brought good beer to my house. And
Christina, I try to do my best when I come there.
You do great. You could come over any day. You leave very nice local indie beers.
Yeah, you're an overachiever. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
All right, I'm going to get us started now. Welcome to the restricted section, and if you want to talk to us, you must approach us slowly and cautiously with a gift held aloft where I can see it. My co-host today is the big Gurg in charge, Grace. Say hello to the listeners, Grace.
Hello, listeners, and a very special hello to last week's guest, Ashley, who said I had a sweet voice, and I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, Ashley, this one's for you. Said in mine, not very sweet voice. Grace, how have you been? I haven't seen you since last year.
I know. Oh my gosh. Love that joke. I've been great.
It's going to be extra good in 7 days when this episode comes out.
Yep. Yes, I've been great. Since we last spoke, I did adopt a cat, and she is...
Sorry, so excited.
She's the true Gurg. She's really in charge now.
Bring her gifts.
Yes. She's very fun and cute and cuddly.
What's her name?
Oh, her name is Pip.
I'm so truly excited for you to have a cat. They are my greatest joy in life, is cats in general, the fact that they exist. And having a cat, being a cat parent, brings just endless joy and entertainment to your life.
Yeah, I'm feeling that so far. It's been really fun.
I'm very excited to announce that our special guest today is someone that you've definitely heard of before, although you may or may not have heard his dulcet tones. Our special guest today designed our logo. Say hello, Mike Hardison. Say hello to the listeners.
Hello, listeners. And I wouldn't exactly say I have dulcet tones, but we'll roll with it for now.
Everyone has dulcet tones on this show. Mike, how the hell have you been? How's your new year been so far?
I've been good. It's been a quiet new year, but I've been enjoying it. Just doing the de-decking of the halls and barely made it to midnight this year, but I did see the ball drop.
Good for you.
At midnight and 30 seconds, I said goodnight.
But you made it, and that's what matters.
I made it.
I forgot to say before I got into the conversation part of our show that Mike works with me and Grace over at Wildling Press. If you listen to our other podcast, How Do I Book, you've definitely heard him over there. And he's also a graphic designer. He designed the restricted section logo. He designed the Deus Ex Media logo. He designed the Wildling logo. Designed many logos and many books. A design genius, some would say.
So talented.
A design wizard, I've heard.
Design wizard.
A genius.
Mike, tell us, what is your Harry Potter history? Like, when did you start reading the books? When did you watch the movies? Dish.
Oh, well, I'm gonna give my age away a little bit because when I was a freshman in college, I got a call from my childhood best friend's mom. And she called me while I was at the dorms and she said, "You have to read this book that just came out." And it was the very first Harry Potter. And this was in 1997. And so she said, "Stop whatever you're doing, go buy this book." So I went and bought the book, instantly hooked. And then like the next 3 or so came out while I was still in school. So every like fall break or something like that, I would buy it and come home for that 3-day weekend and just read the book. Like
Crush it.
just the entire book.
Yep.
So I definitely was very enthralled with the books, and then went through the same phase like everybody with the movies. I've seen the movies more than I've read the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I do get the what happens in the movies mixed up with what happened in the books.
The movie memories.
From time to time.
Yeah.
Right. But that was my experience with it. It was my friend's mom called me and she said, "You have to read this book."
That's so funny. I love
And I'm
that.
glad she did.
Aw. What Hogwarts house are you?
I'm a Gryffindor. I am a ginger-haired Gryffindor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fitting, although before I took my sorting test, I just knew I was Ravenclaw, but that was just because I really like the shade of blue, and I think ravens are cool.
Yeah, it's
And,
the aesthetic more than
It's-
anything else.
Right. And then I took the test, and like, "You're a Gryffindor," and I met Grace, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Ravenclaw."
That's a Ravenclaw. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and we actually do have a very diverse assortment of Ravenclaws here on the restricted section.
Mm-hmm.
We have like the Grace, who I think is the most obvious because you're studious. But we also have the Haley, who's like the mad scientist of Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
She's more of a Luna Lovegood type.
Yes.
And we have Andrew, who's like the pursuit of knowledge is like a game to me.
Yeah.
My dad is also that kind of Ravenclaw.
I'm so absorbing that Andrew is a Ravenclaw.
No, I know. Well, I would never try to tell someone who they are, but I mean,
Right.
come on.
I mean, he gives strong Hufflepuff vibes.
Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, maybe? Oh my God.
Yeah, I was
Gryffindor,
thinking more
Maybe he's
Gryffindor.
divergent.
Could be.
I will say that I am Slytherin Rising. I do appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Who's your favorite Harry Potter character? New question. I've never asked a new guest that
Ooh.
before.
Mine,
Feeling inspired to improv right now.
I'll always stand with Luna Lovegood. I absolutely love her so much. Like
Oh, I'm sorry she's not in this chapter.
I know, it's fine. It's fine. I thought about her. I thought about her while I was reading the chapter, and it's fine.
Aww.
And I love Professor McGonagall. Like, I'm so glad she's, Gryffindor.
Two
Yeah.
completely opposite characters.
I know. But it fits my personality for sure.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to finally get you on the show, Mike. And we are here today to talk about Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Chapter 20, Hagrid's Tale. I just realized that like 5 episodes ago, I was like, we're halfway through. And our guest was, I think maybe it was Charlie, was like, no, you're not. That's not how math works. And I was like, damn, I'm not even halfway through. Or maybe it was Claire. Maybe this has happened more than once.
It's possible.
I forgot to notice it when like a chapter or 2 or 3 ago. I'm really bad at math. We are more than halfway through the book now, so thank fucking God, am I right?
You're right.
Yeah.
Chapter 20, Hagrid's Tale. Do either of you have the physical book in front of you by any chance?
I do
Yes.
not.
What page does chapter 20 start on, if you please?
I want to say I just had it open. I closed it to show you that I had the book.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Should have made my desires clearer.
420. Very fitting.
it's
Through
420?
440. Yep, 420 through 440.
Wow.
First of all, amazing. So that's out of an 870 page long book. So we're actually
There's
not
the picture.
halfway through the book.
Damn it.
By page number, right? We're not halfway through the
Yeah,
book by page
that's
number.
right.
Wow, I'm gonna walk into the ocean with all of my copies of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and none of us will ever return. We're gonna be sleeping with the fishes. I can't believe I cannot believe I just celebrated being halfway through this book.
You
And
shouldn't
we're not
have
even
checked
actually
it.
halfway through this
You
book.
should have just continued to live in blissful
You're
ignorance.
You're really right about
you
that.
can kind of you can celebrate next week.
Yeah.
At the end of this
I make it to
chapter,
next
you are halfway through.
Mike, do you still have it open? Can you hold
Yes.
it up so I can see like how it looks when it's
Oh, how the pages?
yeah,
How they...
how they
What do you
fall.
mean?
There
Like-
should be a word...
But like
hold
this.
it up like flat so we can
Like
see
our
how the
Wildling
pages
logo.
organically fall.
Oh,
Yes.
Hold it open.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like that.
It's close.
Yeah, no, we're not. It looks like we're not halfway.
It does look that way.
It does go to 870 pages.
I think there's like bugs flying around in my brain. Like, I think I'm slowly turning into a person full of bugs, trying to read this book so slowly. I feel like there isn't a brain in there anymore, nor is there a heart and inside of it a drive to go on.
I get it. I mean, of the books, this is probably the hardest to get through.
Oh my God.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was
It's
like,
fine. It's necessary,
oh my
but
God.
it's hard to get through. I mean, Umbridge alone.
Ugh.
sorry, I was pouring my Brut from my Aldi Brut. They have the cheapest Brut at Aldi. And like, it's just one of those things that always overflows. Like, it always pours
every
more
time.
bubbles than you think it's going to.
Yeah.
And I'm like using like the tiniest little cup.
It's
so
cute.
makes me drink it slower.
Meanwhile, I got my biggest wine glass that I had before
Oh, yeah.
starting this.
Are you drinking just like a regular red?
I am drinking a bottle, well, not the whole bottle, we'll see how the show goes, of Unoaked Merlot made by my aunt and uncle.
Oh yeah, you left some of that in my
Okay.
house.
Did you drink it?
I haven't drank it at all
Okay.
yet.
That's the Pinot Noir. That one I like. That's my favorite.
Okay,
But I'm
hell
having
yeah.
a Merlot tonight.
I literally haven't even drank it. There's just been like a great bounty of booze at my house recently.
Nice.
No, and I fucking love it because they're retired and they just want things to do. So if you just buy the wine kit for like $80 or so, they'll make you the wine and give it to you, and you get like 29, 30 bottles.
What?
That's so fun.
homemade
Oh my
wine.
That's
God.
a high yield.
It's so good. It's so worth it.
When I was in early college, my parents took a winemaking class together, and it was real early college because my parents were together.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like, the wine that they produced was so bad that they wouldn't drink it, and they gave it to me. I was like 19 years old. They gave me a case of wine, like 12 bottles, and they wrote on it, or maybe I wrote on it, Mr. and Mrs. Khan's bad wine. And you just put it out at a college party, somebody's going to drink that
That's
shit.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be such a long, boring chapter, but it actually was such a great relief to get to talk about anything else.
Yeah.
Anything other than what we've been talking about this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to, like, it's nice that Hagrid's back. So that's how this chapter starts. Hagrid's back, baby.
And he is looking rough.
He's looking
He
rough.
is fucked up.
He's fucked up. It makes Hermione scream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Audibly.
Yeah, they notice that the lights in his cabin are on. It's after hours, so they wear the invisibility cloak. I think this is the first time that the three of them are too big to fit easily under the cloak.
Yeah, I thought that
Like
was
Ron's
pretty
out.
cute.
Awkward, but cute.
Yeah, Ron's so tall now.
Well, and surely, like, even if he's crouching, like, surely someone can still see his ankles occasionally. Like, I don't feel like I could crouch that good across a castle.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hagrid, when they get there, is fucked up. He's actively bleeding. He has, like, a swollen shut black eye, probably some broken ribs. Harry's like, that looks like a broken rib to me. And I'm like, you've never seen a broken rib? I've been with you this whole time.
Yeah. His hair's like matted with congealed blood. Disgusting.
But he's still got a smile on his face.
Oh,
Good old
he's happy to
Hagrid.
see them.
Yes.
I was just watching a TikTok. I forget what the person's handle is, but they do like the OSHA inspector coming to Hogwarts and like lawyers coming to Hogwarts. I'm sure that people in the Discord know who I'm talking about because we've talked about this person. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, he has this bit about like, do you know that some of your students just like go down to the groundskeeper's cabin like all the time, like in the middle of the night? Oh, you trust him? Oh, okay, I'll make a note of that. Like, they just are like sneaking down there in the middle of the night. It's an approach.
It is an approach. I agree with you there.
He won't explain his injuries. He slaps a steak of dragon meat over his eye to let. I don't care how fucked up my eye is. I'm not putting raw meat on my face like that.
No, and
Yeah, that's an old school thing to do.
Yeah.
It's back in
what
the
is
day.
the like? Why? What is the reasoning? What is that doing?
I have no clue. You know, I looked it up ages ago because I was curious because, like, you know, you see like a Rocky movie or something,
Yeah.
and they have, you know, a big old ribeye sitting on their eye.
It's literally just because it's cold.
That's it. It could be anything that's
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, maybe in the olden days people thought it was more than that, but it's literally just like get a bag of peas. Whenever I hurt myself, I get a bag of peas because I always have them. They're only $1.
Yeah.
And they can like conform. It's almost like micro beads. They like conform around your injury. You know what I
That
mean?
makes sense.
Yeah, even if you look it up, it's exactly that. But I like how this note ends it because it says the idea of putting a steak on your eye is because the meat has been sitting in a refrigerator freezer. It's nice and cold and will help the swelling and bruising go down by constricting blood vessels and decreasing inflammation. However, putting raw meat on an injury is just not safe.
Just
Just
the ocean
don't
inspector would be so
do it.
disappointed.
Just don't do it.
Guys, did I tell you I fell down my whole flight of stairs yesterday?
Oh my God.
No.
Are you okay?
I fell down a whole flight of. I'm 31 years old. The post 30 thing is a myth because I survived almost unscathed.
Wait, how were you scathed?
Well, I just got bruised on my leg. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
It just hurts a lot when I move my leg. But I was like at the top of the stairs, first thing in the morning with a brim of overflowing, basically, cup of hot coffee and my work computer. Those were the two things in my hands.
Oh no.
And I slipped like on the top step.
The worst
And like
one.
I had no idea what was happening, but my brain has enough autopilot that it just put my work laptop on the very top, completely unscathed, and then me and my coffee just slid down the stairs together.
Wow. So good of you.
And you're sure none of the cats pushed you?
I don't know what I tripped on. I don't know how it happened. My slippers are slides, and I'm not like the least clumsiest person I know, so you know, it was
That
probably
sucks,
a
though.
me issue. But it was so scary to fall down the stairs. I was like, this is how people die.
Did it feel like it was in slow motion?
Yes, and I was like grabbing, but it was like just carpet, and I was like going too fast to like grab it. It was so scary.
Did you just like
And
lay
then
there for a minute?
I came to a stop at the bottom stair, sitting up still, so I didn't face plant or anything, but my coffee mug, my favorite coffee mug, did break into a bajillion pieces, and I spilled hot coffee in like a full sphere. Like, what do they call that? Like in every single direction from the sun. Like I spilled coffee.
Damn.
I spilled coffee like all the way up my stairs and my like mass market paperbacks that sit there and like all over every single step because the mug like was intact all the way down. So it just like kept having more coffee in it. And then it exploded everywhere.
That's a tragedy.
It was really upsetting. I was crying a lot. Sean was in a different part of the house, so he thought I died. And but R.I.P. to my big purple Frozen mug because I loved that thing. I don't even care that much about Frozen, but that mug, God, it was so good.
Damn.
Anyway, sorry for
Well, I'm
this
glad you're
monologue, but
okay.
I felt like I had
Yes.
to talk through it.
Did you put some steak on your leg?
No, I didn't. Sean
Okay.
keeps telling me to ice it, but I'm like, Bruce, it's winter time. I don't really care.
Okay.
My leg is fucked up though. Like it's bruised.
I kind of want to see it.
No.
Okay. It's not that kind of Zoom call, I guess.
And I'm not gonna just like pull my leg up aside. But do you guys remember when I think it's in the third Austin Powers, it's fucking John Travolta. What? No, it's not John Travolta.
You're saying John Travolta in an Austin Powers movie?
No, John Travolta. It's Goldmember, whom in the spoof movie, that's the framing device for the real movie, John Travolta does play Goldmember.
Oh, okay.
But he's like doing his like disco skating, and he lifts his legs like all the way up, and they look like chicken wings.
Yes.
You should do that.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. We'll just. Oh, and there it is. Listeners couldn't see it, but
Y'all really missed out.
So Hermione says, "Did the giants beat you up, Hagrid?" Okay, but before we get into that, I just really need to talk about. So Hagrid has an injury. He's putting raw meat on it, which we already determined is like not necessary or good.
Yeah.
And then he's making tea also without washing his hands with like raw meat fingies.
Raw dragon meat, like
Raw green meat fingies.
Yes.
Disgusting. Do we have to
I don't
talk
know if that
about
makes
it?
any less. I don't know if it's any less worse than
I
like
think
raw
that's all.
red meat, but you know.
I almost pour my brute over every single time. This cup is small because I filled it up like 6 times and I've barely drank any of this bottle.
Your cup runneth over.
I just poured another glass, and every time I drink wine now, I think of Linda Belcher saying, "I've only had half of 4 bottles of wine."
That's my favorite. Oh my God. That's probably like I think I might want to get that tattooed on my body.
It's amazing.
I forget what I was going to say, but
Just like
Oh,
the
the other-
He's
fingies.
making tea with dirty fingers.
the other thing about the dragon meat, and like, sorry, I know we already talked about the dragon meat once. I just have a lot of questions. What do you think, Mike, what do you think dragon meat would taste like?
I think it'd be very gamey. Like, it'd have to be like, you know, like deer meat to like the nth degree. I don't think I would be a fan.
Okay, gross. Grace, what do you think?
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. They fly, so maybe like chicken.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do chickens fly?
Sure.
They probably
Wow.
like
Wow.
hover
we
or something.
We literally live in a place where there's so many chickens.
I know. I'm really
Ew.
failing my
I've like
heritage.
known so many chickens in my life. Do they fly?
I feel like they
They
flit.
can fly. They can fly, but not very far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know,
Okay,
but
great.
probably
The more
not
you
good
know.
as far as the taste.
Yeah, I would think, like, I'm not a very picky eater at all, except for, like, meats and cheeses. I feel like meats and cheeses are, like, different, and they can be weird in a way that's, like, upsetting. A vegetable is just, like, whatever, man. I'll just eat the vegetable. I don't care. Did it go bad? I trust it. Like, I'll eat the vegetable. Is it a weird one? Is it raw? Is it cooked? Like, I'll eat the vegetable. I don't care. But meat, I just think it would taste like, I don't know, maybe like a little metallic-y. And you're like, ugh, that ain't
Yeah.
right.
But also, like, how does Hagrid just have dragon meat?
I honestly think he probably picked it up in Hogsmeade on his way back. To his
Is that
hut
like
this
a
week.
regular thing that people would just like buy in the village?
I don't know.
It seems kind of undergroundish. I mean, if you think about it, like, especially with him being so in love with animals and, you know, dragons as well, like, you'd think he'd have, like, a moral, like, standing against dragons.
Yeah, it's not giving care of magical creatures, Hagrid.
Right.
It is not. It's giving disdain of magical creatures. I think that if there was a dragon steak in Hogsmeade, Hagrid would know exactly who had it. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
if it's not something that they have at the magical butcher, which is something we never hear about, but surely it exists.
Yeah.
Maybe, and this is actually what it seems like, maybe all magical creatures are like protected from being eaten because they're magic.
Mm-hmm.
And only the muggle animals get eaten.
Interesting.
That's that's prejudiced. He literally lets Fang gnaw on the dragon steak and then puts it back on his face.
Right.
Hermione tried to save him from that.
That's like the least gross part of this, honestly. Like, I let my cats lick me in my face. So Hagrid like doesn't seem like he wants to talk, but Ron is like, okay, well, we'll tell you about how Harry got attacked by Dementors. If you tell us who attacked you, attack for attack,
That's so very Ron.
Well, he's full Ron in this chapter because every single thing that Hagrid says, Ron's like, what? No! Are you for real? That's crazy!
That's the best part of Ron, though. I know he gets a lot of slack, but those are the reasons why, I love Ron.
He's a good boy.
These moments,
Mikey, you're basically a Weasley, so I feel like you're just going to defend any Weasley all the time.
Oh, yeah, there's quite a few of the Weasleys I will defend, for
Honestly,
sure.
if you were in the Weasley family, you would either be like a triplet to the twins.
Yeah.
Or you could be Ginny Weasley. Like, I think you and Ginny have kind of a lot in common.
I was going to say that. I was like, out of any of them, I feel like she and I are like the closest in personality.
Honestly, what a compliment to you. Like,
thank you. I like it.
She's the best one.
That.
She's a Leo. I was like, what if she's a Pisces? Wouldn't that be crazy?
so crazy.
She's Leo. Out of all the Weasleys, I'm probably a Molly. I'm going to do way too much to the point where it annoys other people and then get mad that they don't appreciate me more.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too.
At first, I was going to say Percy, and then I was like, no, be kind to yourself.
Oh.
Right. Love yourself.
I was scared you were going to say Percy for me, and then I would just have to sue myself out.
Her screen just goes black.
We're done.
Goodbye. No, you're a total Bill. You have like a cool ponytail.
That's really nice.
It's like, yeah, she works at the bank, but like she dresses kind of edgy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'll take it.
I'm not like other bankers. I'm a cool banker.
So Hagrid is like, fine, I'll tell you. Hagrid hasn't heard anything since he's been like away on his journey. So he's like, I guess I do need information from you guys. So Hagrid describes how he and Madame Maxime left on this journey at the end of the previous term, right after the Goblet of Fire. They were pretending like they were going on holiday in France, and they were being followed by the Ministry. So they had to be careful, like, not to use magic because Hagrid's not allowed to use magic. They had to, like, act like they were going on vacation long enough to, like, shake the tail.
Yeah. So they leave directly after Goblet of Fire. They have this mission from Dumbledore. But, like, why is Madame Maxime with Hagrid? Because she's a half giant?
I think just because, like, yeah, maybe she
Buddy
cares.
system?
I think it's like all those things. I think it's like, well, I do like you, and also buddy system, and also maybe I can help. And like, he doesn't have magic by himself.
Yeah, okay.
I definitely think she was driven by wanting time alone with Hagrid. She was
Ooh la la.
Ooh,
She's
she wanted
like,
a piece of his dragon steak.
she's like, I will go with you to the mountains, but we will go on vacation in the south of France first.
Yes, we'll go visit my school. Isn't that where they went to?
Well, I think
supposed to
they
get her
said
old
that.
school?
But they were
Said
acting
they were
like
going.
they were, yeah.
Right.
Apparently, Madame Maxime, aka Olympe.
I hate saying her first name, by the way.
Olymp.
I hate saying her first name. It just...
My Google Docs auto-corrected it to Olympus.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she's like a tough wilderness bitch. Like, I want a novella of like this, of like their summer.
Yeah.
You know?
A little spin-off.
I was thinking the same thing, because we just get him like talking about what happened, but I want an actual like story, like...
Yeah, I want to get to know
Story.
her character better.
Yeah, she seems very cool.
So they eventually get up into the mountains. I guess like the Alps.
I guess.
That's what I pictured. Not that I've been to the Alps personally, but my brain was like, it's the Alps.
I have been to the Alps.
Brag.
Well,
Brag.
yeah. I just feel like you could probably find places there's a lot of people in the Alps. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
If you were trying to find an isolated mountain range, like, I don't feel like the Alps is it. But maybe that's all they had.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they are beautiful. Beautiful place to have a giant community, a commune for your giant family. It took them a month to get there. They were going.
A month?
A month? It's like, why? On page 420 out of 870, why write a line like this? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's like, come on. Just get through it. Anyway, they found the giants.
Real quick, I do want to rewind when he's talking about them getting to the giants. If this is one of those moments where he's talking about having the separate story, and I really wished it, like this chapter alone was written for adults, because I want to know about his run-in with the vampire in Minsk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like I want to know.
The side
I
quest.
want to know what happened.
Yeah.
And it's one sentence and he just moves on. And I'm like, but there was a vampire in Minsk.
There's a couple things that Hagrid says and then just swiftly moves on. And I'm like, I want to
It's
know
nothing.
more.
Oh, we need his travel log.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aw, what if Hagrid had a blog?
Oh my god. What would it be called?
I don't.
Care of Magical Features.
I'd have to think on that one.
Creature from the blog. Is that a thing? Creature from the bog? Did I invent that?
That's just
I
Haley.
think so.
Okay.
That's just Haley. All the love, Haley.
I want to come up with one more good one.
We're counting on you.
No, somebody else has to do one.
Hagrid's tale.
Shut up.
Okay, not bad, not bad. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. Now.
Yeah, that one just came to me. I don't know where.
Familiar.
Okay. Give me a second. It's coming to me.
I can just think of like entry titles, not the actual title of the whole thing. Like entry title number 1, a month.
A month?
Okay, wait. Okay, I got the one more. He's the keeper of the tabs and windows.
I've heard that before.
I've heard that.
Also heard that. Feels
I've
familiar
ripped that
too.
from Grace's
You might need to copyright
Wildling
it,
business
TM.
card. Hagrid and Maxime have to approach cautiously to the giants. Giants are 20 to 25 feet tall. They're endangered. They all live together in these like violent giant communes
Yeah.
in the Alps. They're jumpy about magicians, so you gotta approach cautiously. You gotta give them a gift to show their respect. The giant in charge is called a Gurg. Yeah.
Hate that.
This one's name
Yeah.
is Carcass.
Which I
Smelled
love.
like Marcus.
Yes, it's amazing. Carcass.
They give Carcass a gift of Grubrathian fire. Hey, Robert Galbraith? Robert Galbraithian fire?
Uh-huh.
That went over my head.
Because J.K. Rowling, Joanne publishes under the name Robert Galbraith.
Oh.
Because
see,
her
I don't know him.
identity as a woman is really important to her. I don't know if you've heard.
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, I have questions about this. Like, so they present this fire unto Carcass.
I choked on my own spit. It's everlasting fire.
Yes, everlasting fire. So they have traveled with this because Dumbledore gave it to them to give to the giants.
Okay.
So, like, how?
Yeah, it was definitely not in their pocket.
Yeah, like, how did they do that?
It's like Calcifer from House Moving Castle. They have like a skillet with like a fire. No, well, the only thing I'm thinking of is like Hermione has those jars with fire.
Oh, yeah.
Could be in a jar.
Could be.
The jar is enchanted to protect the fire and the carrier.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
I'm a Harry Potter expert. You know, I got all the answers.
you do. I knew I could come to you with this question.
So, Gubrathian fire, that's the kind of thing that it's like impossible to casually Google something like that and know if it existed before Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like the concept of everlasting fire is like a thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the name. It just seemed weird to me.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting because you could also just call it everlasting fire, which is what
which
Hermione
is
like says. She's like, "Oh
That's
yeah,
too
duh."
easy, though.
Is it?
Gotta
I know, I
jazz
love
it up.
that.
I feel like
Gotta jazz it up a little bit.
everything that Joanne comes up with as far as naming things is usually the easy.
Do you remember when she capitalized owl treats like she invented treats?
Yep. I don't know what the Gubrathian bit means.
Is that a loud pour?
I can't hear it.
No,
Okay,
Zoom
good.
is too, but stuff picks up on the audio that doesn't get picked up on Zoom because Zoom has really good like background noise canceling. But like the point of our recordings is to not do that.
Right. Right.
I got to do that manually.
That was definitely a loud pour, so I apologize.
No, that's good. That's good. I love getting sound clips like that.
Little ASMR.
Yeah. Carcass, the Gurg, didn't speak English, so he needed a translator. They gave the gift. It's a magic gift because giants don't have magic. They're like, cool, enjoy this gift. We'll be back tomorrow. I want to take a moment to appreciate how, like, difficult and important this task seemed to have been. And, like, Hagrid really, it sounds like totally crushed it, you know, like really did it right.
Yeah.
It was like, we give his character a lot of shit. Honestly, the bottom line is that he just shouldn't be a child caregiver, but he's a really cool guy, a cool like ranger type with really dope skills, and like Dumbledore's right to trust him with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Just don't leave him alone with your children. Not because of a sex thing, just because of negligence, just
Right.
because
Just
of
the pure
dumbness.
danger.
Yeah. Grace, when you're moving around your apartment and you have little Pip now,
Yeah.
do you sometimes fear that you're just gonna sit? Wait, is she a girl? Pip?
Yeah.
She, her?
Yeah. She, her.
Do you worry that you're just gonna like sit or like step on her or trip on her and like not notice, and you could like crush her entire body just by being an idiot for 1 second?
Yes, that is real. She is constantly underfoot, and
yeah.
it's
they do that.
that's very real. It's very scary.
That's what Hagrid's like. It's like one foul move, and he could.
Well,
could
he
really
does
hurt you.
at some point, kind of at the end of the chapter, I think, knock Hermione over with a little pat on the back. So
Yeah, there's a lot of too eager pats on the back. But let's take a moment to be grateful for the fact that they are in fact pats on the back, which I've heard is one of the safe places where teachers are okay to touch their students.
Yes.
It's like pat on the back. That's pretty much it, honestly.
yeah,
Because like even like a tap on the head or something is like so condescending.
Can't
Don't
do it.
that.
Yeah. A firm grasp on the shoulder is a no-no.
no,
A high five.
yeah,
A nice professional school high five.
No jumping. Flat-footed high five.
So the next day, they bring Carcass an indestructible battle helmet as the second gift. It's like Hanukkah. It's like, I'll keep bringing them. He's like, can we talk now? And they're talking through the interpreter. And Carcass like knows Dumbledore. Dumbledore has a history of fighting for the rights of giants, demonstrably pro-giant. And he's like interested in hearing what Hagrid has to say.
and then it all goes wrong.
And then it all
the
goes
shit
wrong.
hits the fan.
Overnight, they can hear it. There's a fight. How scary must that be?
Really scary.
Yeah.
They can hear the fight down in the valley. They're sleeping up in a cave.
Yeah, a bloodbath.
And I think this fight really like screwed up Madame Maxime's game. So I think she had another motive for going with Hagrid and getting in that cave. And she's like, now there's this fight.
Are you
Madame
kidding me?
Rosina is just horny, dude. Why? What's her motivation to go on this? She's horny.
Yes,
Done
that's
and done.
that's how I felt through this entire chapter. I was like, she needs to get it.
Yeah,
Carcass got decapitated.
and he had just gotten that very cool battle helmet.
I know.
That
It's
sucks.
so sad. Wait, let me see. Hold on, I have to see something. So the illustration, I now have the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and the illustration at the beginning of this chapter is of a decapitated giant.
Wait, what?
Yeah, but he's not wearing his helmet. That's what I wanted to look at.
Oh,
It's like
see?
just his head.
Shoulda
You
had
see
it
it's
on.
Just his head.
Oh
You see
yeah.
it?
Damn.
Yes. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. No battle helmet, though.
No.
Nope, he should have been wearing it.
Rip.
Yeah, that sucks.
Now your head's in the bottom of a lake.
Yeah, that sucks, man. So this was like instigated probably by the Death Eaters, right? Like they're stirring the pot.
That's a good thought. That hadn't occurred to me before because nothing ever occurs to me. But that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I immediately just figured the other dude who wanted to be Gurg was just power hungry after seeing the gifts. He's like, no, fuck this guy. I'm taking Carcass down.
True. I was just thinking because the Death Eaters have been lurking, so I feel like they were like, you know what? We're just going to stir some stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I just heard the word Gurg, and my brain was like, old Gurg.
I'm old Gurg.
But he's not. He's new Gurg.
He drinks Bailey from a shoe. A very big, big shoe.
There's a new Gurg, and it's a big Lord of the Rings name, Golgamath.
Mm-hmm.
That's what all of the names of bad guys sound like in Lord of the Rings. Golgamath is the new Gurg. Hagrid's like, fucking yikes. I guess I have to carry on. It took us a month to get here.
Yeah, he's committed.
So he takes down to the new Gurg. He takes the third gift, a roll of dragon skin.
That's where the dragon steak came from.
I'm like, what is that about?
That tracks. I'm not really about animal skin, but like it's kind of dope to have like a roll of dragon skin. You can make some cool armor out of that, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So no, because they attack him immediately.
Yeah.
They grab him, and luckily he has Madame Maxine because she uses magic to get them out of there.
The conjunctivitis curse.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So gross.
She makes her eyes gross.
I don't know why that didn't occur to me that it was just like conjunctivitis until you just said it out loud. Like literally the conjunctivitis curse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to imagine like Hagrid hanging upside down. Like that's not even an image I can conjure in my mind. He's like hanging upside down. He's so big.
Not in this crew.
You're right.
He's a baby.
He's baby. Mm-hmm. So how would Hagrid have gotten out of this if Maxime wasn't there? Mike, what do you think?
I don't think he would have. I think that Hagrid would have met his demise without her being present.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know that sounds awful, and I know that it would have been a horrible thing to write, but I think that She Who Shall Not Be Named knew getting into this chapter that he could not have been alone for this journey because he would not have come back.
Yeah. Okay.
That's true.
Grace, what do you think?
I mean, obviously Hagrid is not good speaking under pressure, so he certainly couldn't have talked his way out of it.
That's true. We can see that in a couple minutes.
That becomes evident. I don't know. Like, wiggle a lot. That's how my cat gets out of my arms.
If I was like editing this book and I was like looking for ideas, like to me, the easiest idea in terms of like, I'm not surprised to read this in a book. Maybe it's not as believable in real life. Is like he's about to get put to death or whatever by these giants, and then he like mentions his mom. Ooh. And they're like, oh, like someone's like, wait, I knew his mom, like she was a good giant or whatever, like, and that saves him.
Okay,
I like that angle better than mine.
I mean, yours is more realistic, I think, but mine's better for like a book.
Yes, that's why you write and I do not.
What if for 420 pages it's like, where's Hagrid? I don't know. He just left. Like, where's Hagrid? Is he okay? I'm worried about him. I haven't seen him. And then it's just like, oh, he died. Like halfway through the book. He just died a month ago off screen. How unsatisfying.
Right.
So they use magic against the giants, so everything's fucked. Don't use magic against the giants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't like it.
Yeah. So Hagrid and Maxime have to like stay out of sight. Like they can't go down there again.
Yeah.
But they stay around and like they're watching and trying to figure out what to do next. And fucking.
Yes, absolutely. We know this happened. We all have needs.
Especially
whether we're big or small.
Bored as hell in a cave.
Tight
perhaps
quarters.
About to die.
Hagrid said that it was the giant snoring that caused the avalanche, but I'm not so sure.
It was that clapping.
Oh my god. If the mountains are rocking, don't come a knocking. Mm-hmm. So from their cave, as they're smoking their post-coitus cigarettes out on the door of the cave, they see Death Eaters approach, and they're like chatting up Golgamath. They decide, like, instead of going to him again, let's try to talk to like some other giants.
Yeah, I think this is a good strategy.
It's kind of like the only strategy.
Yeah.
You definitely can't go back to Golgamath.
No. I wonder how many gifts they brought, though.
I was wondering the same thing. Maybe they have a bag like what Hermione does in Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
Dumbledore's just like, here. It's like a cute backpack. It's a Jansport. Hagrid's just traveling with a Jansport.
No, Hagrid has his LL Bean backpack with like his name on it.
Yeah, it totally has his
Embroidered.
initials on it. I will say that I am impressed with Hagrid keeping his cool while this is happening, because he sees that it's McNair who is supposed to be the executioner of Buckbeak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so for him to be able to like watch somebody he just absolutely hates with all of his giant being, half giant being, that
Right.
sit there and talk with these giants. Like he knows like he already has like beef with this guy, and now this guy's like messing up his whole mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Maxine was holding him back. No, baby, don't go.
You can't go. You're naked.
Right?
Oh, it's nice to be able to make sex jokes about adults for once, isn't it?
What a relief.
Consenting adults.
Oh, she gave him that extra consent. I made you guys watch that video, the Lizzo video.
No.
What? It's called Extra Consent. It's not. Lizzo's just on it.
You know what? I think you did. Like a while ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put it in the show notes. Girl, I want extra consent. Girl, I want extra consent.
Yeah.
I'll have to see this.
Oh my god, it's amazing. So they go looking in caves for like the giants who are hiding from the wrath of Golgamath, which I think is actually literally a story in the Silmarillion.
True.
It's awkward because like the Death Eaters are somewhere too, and they're trying to like find giants but not find Death Eaters. It's a dangerous game.
Mm-hmm.
Just walking into caves.
Can you imagine those two like sneaking around, like tiptoeing from cave to cave? But it's just, they're just so large. The tiptoeing is loud.
I love picturing Madame Maxime in like basically what Dr. Sattler wears in Jurassic Park. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Cute.
Like she'd look so good in that whole ass outfit
yeah.
Safari Queen.
with her hair back in like a beret, like a practical beret.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hagrid just kind of like trails off and he's gazing into the distance, reminiscing about how fiery Madame Maxime is when she's mad.
Mm-hmm.
She's something when she's roused.
He's like doing everything in his power. He's like, don't get a boner in front of the kids.
Take an eye
He
out.
suspects it's the French in her.
And Harry allows him 30 seconds of this before ending it.
That's
Do you guys
so
want to
long.
wait 30 seconds right now to see how long that is?
This is my nightmare.
So,
Wait,
yeah,
let's
this
do
is
it. Hold
totally
on.
awkward.
We're going to wait 30 seconds starting now. So that's how long he was just gazing into the
Oh my
fire.
god. I can't take it. I'm almost already that kid in school who was like, don't laugh. Don't laugh. And just starts laughing and snorting everywhere. That was really difficult.
Oh. That was painful.
30 seconds never felt so long.
Okay, so that's how long Hagrid is daydreaming about Madame Maxime before Harry clears his throat.
Yikes.
God. That was very like giving of all three of them to, give him that 30 seconds of that.
What are they
because-
doing? That was a long period of time. Are they like making eyebrows at each other? Like, oh, you
You
say
know what?
something. I don't know, say something.
All the magic, all the giants, everything that happens in the story, that's probably the most unbelievable part is that Ron allowed those 30 seconds.
Ron's just like checking out his fingernails.
Hopefully somebody's like playing with Fang or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Something.
So that's a great question, Grace, that you reminded me to ask. Where was Fang this whole time?
Oh, yeah.
He's here now. Where the hell was he?
I thought he was there. I just thought that, like, Grubbly Plank took over everything,
Including Fang.
including Fang.
That's the best answer. She's been staying in the cabin, too. She likes it there.
Yeah.
He wasn't at
like
doggy
an-
daycare.
It's like an Airbnb for her.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What if Hogsmeade did have a doggy daycare?
That's where you'd always find me.
Yes.
You work there. You run it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. So they find 3 injured giants hiding in a cave. There wasn't room to swing an easel.
Is that a
They
thing?
swing
Is
that
that an
dick.
expression?
Well, it's a magic expression because a Kneasel is like a magic cat.
Oh. You know what? That's really funny because I was listening to the audiobook and so I did not know. I thought he said easel.
Oh.
And I was like, okay.
So the K's not silent. I've always read it as Kneasel, but
What
I'm
did I
going with
say?
Knees. Did you say Kneasel? Am I
I
hearing
think
things?
they said Kneasel.
Okay, well, my brain heard the K
Kneasel.
that time.
I don't know what I said, but I'll believe anything.
Yes, whatever you said is what I'm going with.
No.
No,
It's
that's
for sure
happening.
Kneasel.
Kneasel, okay.
Yeah, a Kneasel is smaller than an easel. So if there isn't room to swing a Kneasel, there's definitely not room to swing an easel.
Okay, great. That, you know what? That really helps me, like, with
Well-
the image.
Actually, there are some really small easels out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
true.
kind of forgot that they go super little. Remember we used to have that tiny painting?
Yeah.
The
a
little
tiny easel.
2-inch or 3-inch square
Oh.
painting.
A little miniature painting on a miniature easel.
They're like connecting with these giants about their cause, but then fucking Golgamath's people raid the caves and murder everyone.
Beat the shit out of a few. Mm-hmm.
And then, whoever's left, like, doesn't want to talk to Hagrid after that.
Yeah, it's really,
Yep, they're done.
yeah, it's a bad situation.
Yeah, it's just everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
So they were forced to leave in the end, like, having not gotten giants.
Yeah.
Well, and the question that I have is, they're like, so the giants aren't coming? And Hagrid's like, maybe they'll come. I don't know. Like, what? Are we trying to get them to come here?
Right. Like, what was the goal besides just to get their, like, allegiance or something? That's what I thought.
I have no idea.
Uh,
Like, why invite them back?
yeah. Like, were they just going to hang out in the Forbidden Forest or something?
Spoiler alert, that's
Right.
not viable.
Yeah.
There's some people in the forest that don't take too kind to that.
don't.
And it's
like
not like
it.
there's mountains in the UK. There's like, I think a lot of hills in Scotland. Isn't that right? Hilly.
Yeah.
Maybe some cliffs.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So Hermione asks if Hagrid heard about his mom while he was there. And he did. He heard that she died years ago.
Yeah.
So that's sad.
That's sad.
It was sad. And I was trying to remember when Hagrid had talked to them about, like, his mom and his dad. Was that in the 4th book?
I think we hear about it first when Rita Skeeter publishes
Oh,
about
okay.
it in the 4th book.
That's right.
They, like, maybe even never really confirm it with him until now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
And I do want to jump in there because we're now done with Hagrid telling his story.
Hagrid's tale.
Hagrid's tale. He's done telling his tale. That tale, like, I would hear you talking about before, like, seeing a novella about it separately. I would love to see that story told through the eyes of, like, one of the directors of, like, a Game of Thrones episode. Do you know what I mean? Like, just seeing, like, just full on, like, there'd be the violence, the sex, and, like, just all the entire
Big
storyline in
feelings.
general. Like, right, just seeing that,
Production
like,
value.
through that production value of, like, a Game of Thrones style.
Yeah, and like you said when we were talking about it before, like, some plot lines in Harry Potter, I want to see the adult perspective. Like, a lot of the adult relationships, I want to understand them from an adult perspective.
Yes.
This whole book, I am so curious about what's happening with the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like, how are those people seeing each other and communicating with each other? Like, we don't get to see any of that, but there's a lot of them, and they're all doing a lot of different things. And It's just interesting. Let me see it. So they're starting to ask him to explain like more, but there's a knock at the door. Actually, it's a sharp rapping style, like the RA knock.
Oh, the RA knock.
The worst kind.
Hide everything.
Guess who?
The queen bitch herself.
It's Umbridge. Don't call her a queen.
Oh, yeah, I take it back. The bitch herself.
She's dressed like fucking Kirby. So, okay, they can see her shadow. It's squat, whatever. They throw on the invisibility cloak and they, like, back up against a wall. Hagrid hides their mugs, but Hermione dropped hers, or somebody's went down.
Yeah, I think it was Hermione's shoe was scaled.
Yeah, it says Hermione gasped. Her mug slipped through her fingers and smashed on the floor. Fang yelped.
Hermione, like, always be doing shit like this, like, letting her feelings get the better of her. And my first impulse is to not like that, because it's like, why is the woman, like, so easy to startle and, like, you know, flappable? But then you have to think about how, like, level-headed Hermione is so much of the time. I think it becomes, like, a very consistent and endearing part of her character that sometimes her brain goes completely blank.
Yeah.
For, like, a split second, and then she recovers.
Yeah, I'm a pretty jumpy person, so I can't really fault her because I am the same way.
Fight, flight, or freeze, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Umbridge walks in. Hagrid is like, oh, hey, who the fuck are you?
He literally says that.
So what time do we think it is? Like midnight?
It's gotta be late.
It's late for sure.
I don't remember what happened before this. It was like the Quidditch game, and then they were all sad in the common room, and then everyone went to bed, and then Ron came back from being depressed, and then they went. So, yeah, it has to be, I would say, like 1 a.m, probably.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And she just walks into his house.
Yeah. And
at 1 a.m., I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, and like starts investigating immediately, like opening his cupboards and looking in his cauldron.
Like she owns the place. I hate people like her.
Yeah.
No, you're right. She needs probable cause to search your house like that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, her reputation, like, he already knew of her when she showed up.
That's true. He did say, like, aren't you a ministry person?
Don't you work with Fudge?
Yeah.
You know.
What he was saying is, what the fuck are you doing in my house right now?
Right.
Fair question.
Apparently she heard voices, and Hagrid says, I was talking to Fang, which, here's the thing. She's like, oh, and he talks back, and he's like, well, in a sense, like, he doesn't commit.
Yeah.
But what I would do is be like, oh, yeah, he talks back. Isn't that right, Fang? Oh, yeah, that's right. And then just start, like, going off and doing, like, a bit.
Perfect.
And, like, that's what I would do.
So smart.
I don't think his path is convincing. Umbridge saw 3 sets of footprints coming down to the cabin and none going away from the cabin, which is honestly kind of like a huge oversight, if you ask me.
Oh my god.
Like if anyone looked down from the whole castle, they could see that someone went down to Hagrid's house.
Yeah, I feel like that's really amateurish of the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Being this
How
many
are
years
these
into like,
goobers?
sneaking around.
Yeah. I can't believe
Like,
none
I feel
of
like
them
Hermione
realized.
would have said something about it, like, and she'd done some little magic while they're going down that clears the path.
I mean, that's what they do going back up.
They're just being absolute boobs right now.
But they were so excited to see Hagrid, they
just
forgot
ran.
themselves. Mm-hmm.
It's like 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I would never leave the castle. Not for Hagrid. I'll send an owl.
I'm so glad he's back. I will wait till tomorrow.
Like, what? Especially because, like, catch me never on the grounds of Hogwarts after dark, because that shit is scary.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pitch black. They don't have, like, lights out there. This isn't fucking UVA. They don't have lit paths through the hillside. Like, it is pitch blackness woods.
Yeah.
Right. And anything could have come out of the woods during the evening hours.
Honestly, I wouldn't leave the freaking common room or the dormitory because The castle's
Castles are
scary,
scary.
too. Everything is scary.
When you think about it, the common room's kind of scary. Just kidding. There's a lot of fireplaces in there.
I'm just gonna get under the sheets
Yeah,
and
exactly.
hide myself to light.
Man, do you guys just like casually Zillow just for no reason? You're just like, what if I was a millionaire?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at a house today that had a wood burning fireplace in the master bedroom, and I was like, that's the dream.
Yeah.
That's the snuggliest my life could be.
So cozy.
That was like me last year with my friend who was looking at houses, and he was sending me listings for like $3 million housing, seriously looking at them, and I was like, oh, please buy that place, because I know there's hidden secret passageways and the walls, and I want to throw a clue party.
Definitely
Please
a
buy this
library
house,
in
please. You know,
Yeah.
something.
In 1 year now, me and Sean's house turns 100, and we're going to have like a 20s themed party for it.
Oh my
Should
God.
we do like a Clue murder mystery?
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm not mad
Clue
at
was
that.
like later than that, though, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I know
Google,
it was.
you are
I know
our
it was
friend.
filmed very recently, but when is it?
Oh yeah, I mean the movie's from the 80s.
Yeah. But it's a similar
I
vibe.
did say very recently, didn't I? That wasn't the right way to describe the 80s.
1949.
Okay, so
was the
maybe
Clue.
we'll do like a speakeasy murder mystery, and we'll save the Clue one for another day.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Anyway, put on your calendar sometime in 2024. My house's birthday party.
I'm there.
Do you know Clue is my favorite board game?
Aw, you gave
Yep.
it to Haley once for Christmas.
Yeah, she said she would only play the original version and none of those bastardized versions. Meanwhile, I have the Golden Girls Clue where you have to figure out who ate the last piece of cheesecake, and I love it.
Haley was like, I can't find it anywhere. No, she's like, I used to have that one, but I couldn't find it anywhere to replace it. And then you just like immediately bought it for her, like super easy.
Yeah, I found it.
Like
It
at
was
Target.
my first search. I found it. I have another version of it where it's they're called like the bookshelf versions, but it looks like a big book, and on the spine it says Clue. When you open it up, it's all the pieces of the board
Ooh, I
game.
love that.
Yeah, and they did all the classic games. Like I have that and Scrabble as books, but they do like Candyland and Monopoly.
Will you guys play Scrabble with me? No one will ever
Yes.
play with me.
I grew up on Scrabble and Yahtzee, so I will.
I love
gladly
Scrabble,
play
and like
Scrabble.
here, I'm not even good at it. Like I'm so regular at it, but people don't want to play with me.
We'll play.
What I'm saying is, you'll probably win.
Say no more.
So things are not going well. Let's just say that lying is not Hagrid's best strength.
That's very admirable, though. You know.
No, come on. You got to be able to lie for certain reasons.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing
Lying for the
secret
greater good.
missions.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible spy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Umbridge
god.
is like searching his cabin. She narrowly misses the trio. Like, woman, I can't believe he just lets her do this.
Yeah, same.
So then she sort of like wheels on him, demanding to know why he's injured. Okay. Strike two. He says he tripped. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Bro, come on. Why weren't you were gone all summer? You're telling me you weren't thinking of a good cover for why any of this was anything? Like, this is the worst. This is the worst I've ever seen.
I know. And like if Dumbledore is gonna give him all this info about how to interact with the giants and everything like that and everything to do, like he could have at least fed him a story to tell when he
Feed
got
him
back.
a story. He doesn't have a good imagination, I guess.
And the thing is too, while he's trying to come up with a reason on the fly, he says he tripped over a broomstick, but then he changes it to he was trying to ride a horse.
What?
I-
Really?
Just
Yeah, and he's as my brain had I read it wrong. You know, I have the book in front of me, so I've been moving along with us. But he says, yeah, that's right, over a friend's broomstick. I don't fly myself. Well, look at the size of me. I don't reckon there's a broomstick that'll hold me. Friend of mine breeds Abraxan horses. I don't know if you've seen them or not. Big beast, winged, you know. I've had a bit of a ride on one of them, and it was... And then she cuts him off.
oh, somebody
Way too much
had to.
information, man.
He was just
He literally
rambling.
just starts rambling.
He's panicking.
He's just babbling.
It's absolutely bananas to not have a better story than what he has right now. Like here, I'll come up with a better story. like I was on I would probably say like I was like rock climbing up north in like Sweden or like skiing, and I hurt myself skiing because You were far away. They don't know people there. Like, they're not going to check. You might not be able to pronounce the name of the town you were in, and it would give you an excuse to not be tan. Like, he's terrible.
Or he could say he was on like a work trip and he was researching magical creatures and just
oh my god, great idea, Grace.
freaking like gotten a little tussle, you know?
Honestly, if he was that smart, he would have fucking like taken like a sketchbook with him and been like taking notes on animals while he was traveling. That's like not hard to do. It is your passion. And like you would have such a good story when you got back.
And also you got to think about there's travel time after he got his ass beat to make it back, that Madame Maxime is smart enough to be like, okay, here's the story, you know, because I don't know how many 30-second pauses she allowed, but I know that they definitely talked about like, okay, here's why you look so fucked.
Yeah.
You know, but he doesn't have one.
Yep.
Negligent.
It's bad. Okay. She is like, where have you been? He's like, oh, like he claims he just needed time away for his health. And she's like, in the mountains, because she knows.
Mm-hmm.
God, she knows everything. I hate her.
She's the worst. She's
The worst! She's the worst person in the world. Huge, skank, terrible.
like, you really just want to hurt her physically. You know, like, you really just want to, like, break her nose.
Yes.
Remind her that she's mortal like us.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
She explains that she's been inspecting the teachers, and she's like, well, I'll see you again soon, and leaves. Because she couldn't find anything, like, super incriminating right away.
This bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Hagrid watches out the window to make sure she goes. And she does. And Hermione is like, yo, Hagrid, honestly, straight up, like, do not cross this bitch.
Yeah.
Like, don't do the dumb shit you usually do in class. And he's like, don't worry about it.
He is.
It'll be fine.
He is not concerned.
Honestly, he's probably really happy to be back. And maybe he's been thinking about this lesson plan for a long time.
Maybe that's what he was doing in the downtime.
Just write it down. Be like, I went to research.
Yeah, it is nice, though, I think, that, like, you know, Hermione is generally not the biggest fan of Hagrid as a teacher.
Right.
But, like,
I mean,
and I get
sure.
it. I get it.
For sure.
From perspective, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, though, and she's like, Umbridge is going to come after him, like, her loyalty kicks in, and she's like, that's not going to happen. I think that's nice.
Yeah.
Aw. It's like you're a better friend than a teacher. The thing is that he could be a really good teacher. Like, if him and Grubbly Plank were working together.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
co-teachers.
like,
He just needs a filter.
he needs someone approving his lesson plans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dumbledore is certainly not going to do it.
Like, his department head would be like Professor Sprout as like the biology department.
Yeah. Definitely.
I love it, though, when Hermione's like, hey, you know, she's really coming down to everybody. Why don't you, like, chill out with your lesson plan? And he's like, no, what I have coming up next is amazing, and you must see it.
Yeah.
Like, he just won't absorb that he's supposed to, like, simmer down.
Yeah.
Just for a couple lessons.
It's crazy because he thinks she's being dramatic, but, like, you just got here, dude. Like, Umbridge marched into your house in the middle of the night. You think she won't fire you over some dumb shit?
Yeah, and it's not like they didn't say what had happened to Trelawney. Like, they have evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, don't worry about it. And he sends him off to little Betty by time.
Yep, and he's like, cover your tracks on the way, you dummies.
So then it's like, it's so awkward because you have to like preserve the mystery of the one-way tracks.
Yeah. The unexplained.
Well, that's the end of the chapter. Mike, is there anything that we missed or that you liked? Anything, any last words?
No, I don't. I think we kind of covered it all. Like, it was like it's actually a very fun chapter within a book that I found the hardest to read.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like it's like you're watching a sitcom or like a TV show, and it's like the one spin-off episode, you know, that's like not part of the main story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a flashback episode.
A nice little break.
Yep, agreed. It would have been perfect had that bitch in pink not shown up.
I
But,
know.
but it's fine. It had to happen. She had to show up to keep the story moving.
I just hate her so much. She's always there, and it's like the sickly sweet, like the way she like acts so coy.
It's one of those things I always think of as, and this is one of those memes we've all seen a million times, but it's, who's the worst character in the Harry Potter series and why is it Dolores Umbridge?
Right.
You know?
Yep, for sure.
The world.
Grace, any last words about the chapter?
There's only one thing. I can't remember who said it, but somebody, and it's probably Harry, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But somebody says that Sirius had mentioned that Madame Maxime had gotten back like ages ago.
Yeah.
And like wondering why
separately.
Hagrid had not also gotten back ages ago. But like, I guess, are they having conversations with Sirius that we're not privy to?
Who?
Like
The kids?
the kids, yeah.
So we didn't witness him saying that?
Yeah, like
They've talked to him a couple times.
I guess so. I don't know. I just feel like every time they talk to Sirius, it's like a big deal and like a really planned out thing. And so I just thought it was interesting, like that little line about how it was like, oh, Sirius said Madame Maxime got back ages ago. Like, where have you been? And I'm like, why would they have heard it from Sirius? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And like we didn't have any indication before now that anyone had heard anything about anything to do with Hagrid. So I don't know. Maybe it's just like a bit of a throwaway line, but I just thought it was like interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Definitely not a lot of information for our heroes here, even despite the whole chapter having been exposition.
Yeah. Anyway.
One thing that I want to talk about before we wrap it up is I know I was teasing Ron at the beginning of the episode for being like so enthralled with the story, but I kind of just remembered that this is, I don't know if y'all remember last week's episode, but like this is the worst day of Ron's life. It's like different chapter, different week of the podcast, but like same day from the last chapter, which is like the worst day of Ron's life. Like he played so badly in that Quidditch game. And it was like the Weasley is our king, like all that shit. And
yeah, and didn't Harry just get like a lifetime ban?
Harry got it, and the twins got a lifetime ban. So Ron can't quit because that's like the whole team.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Ron has this distraction actually, and that he's just like goofing on this story, this crazy story that Hagrid's telling him.
Yeah, he's along for the ride, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's like, Quidditch might be hard, but at least I didn't have to fight a giant.
It could have been worse.
Perspective.
Are y'all ready to move on to plugs?
Yeah.
Sure.
Amazing. Mike, do you want people to find you on the internet?
Sure. Well, you can hear me on another podcast along with Grace and Christina and Mary Payton. We miss you. I wish you were here. On How Do I Book by Wilding Press.
I should have just brought her on this episode, even though I only usually do 3 people.
I thought about it today because I feel like she was missing. Because in case people going way back to another episode of the restricted section, the 4 of us are each of the 4 houses.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we make a great business partner.
Well, we'll do another episode, the 4 of us.
Yeah.
We should for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find me on Instagram at roy.g.biv79. I've had Roy G. Biv79 as my screen name since the 90s, and someone else had it, so I had to put those dots in there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. And what have you been watching or reading, listening to, playing lately that you think the listeners of our podcast would enjoy?
I have 2. I don't know if I'm allowed that, but I'm going with 2.
That's quite
one
all right.
of them is an anger plug. It's because I really fell in love with the series that came out on Netflix in October called Half Bad, The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself. And it's based off the Half Bad young adult fantasy series by Sally Green. And the first season was absolutely amazing. It's kind of like a near R-rated Harry Potter style. It's good witches, bad witches. There's blood, gore. a polyamorous relationship, a really sexy alchemist French man named Gabriel.
His eyes are closed. He's gesturing.
His fingers are always blue, and I don't know why, but I find that really hot.
It's like he's dying slowly. That's so
But
hot.
like a month later, Netflix canceled it.
Oh.
And I'm really mad
Oh.
about that.
Ouch.
And because they've gotten really good at that. But there's supposed to be it's going to already happen by the time this airs. But in a few days, they're going to have a Twitter storm so everybody can let them know how angry they are that it got canceled. But I still recommend watching that. My other plug for a show that's still going on is on HBO Max. And it's on its 3rd season, but it's called We're Here. And it's three very pretty famous drag queens in the RuPaul's Drag Race universe visit small towns in America to let people know that the gay community, the LGBTQIA plus community exists, even no matter how small your town is. So these people, these 3 drag queens go to these small towns and they end up putting on a drag show at the end of the week, but they involve people from the community, whether they're allies or whatever, wherever they identify on the spectrum.
Oh, that's
and
so
it's
fun.
it's absolutely beautiful and amazing. And I end up crying through quite a few end of the episodes just to see people up there, no matter even how bad they're performing, just to feel free in a community where they feel like they have no voice. So We're Here on HBO Max, and I highly recommend it.
That's beautiful.
Amazing.
And you didn't say this, but everyone listening out there, if you need some design work done, hit Mike up because he'll design your shit for you.
Michael at wildingpress.com.
Crushed it.
Yes, sir.
Grace, well, people can find you at Wildling. I don't think you have to repeat
At
it.
Wildling Press on all the socials.
And what have you been up to lately you think the listeners would like?
I am going to plug yet another recipe. Christina, I made this for you for your birthday one year. Lemon poppy seed cake.
Oh,
Life, Love, and Sugar has a really yummy recipe. Lemon poppy seed cake layers, lemon curd filling, and a cream cheese frosting.
Yes, please.
honestly, lemon poppy seed, in my personal opinion, best flavor in the world.
Really yummy. And I just feel like when you're in the dregs of winter, if you can make something that brings a little sunshine into your day, you
Something
should.
perky. I've been your host, Christina. You know where to find me. I haven't finished plugging all my podcasts, which I started doing like 2 months ago. I've been plugging all the podcasts that I listen to, but I've been getting derailed lately. And this week I'm going to plug a game that I've been enjoying lately. It's called Betrayal at House on the Hill. I played it for the first time with Zach and Alex at their new home in Baltimore, from My Cabbages, Zach and Alex.
Yeah.
And it's a really fun game, and I bought it for Sean for Christmas, and it's like a haunted house game. You're like
Cool.
exploring a haunted house, and then
That sounds fun.
there's like always a big bad who comes and gets you. So, if you like board games, I recommend Betrayal at House on Haunted.
One more time with feeling.
Betrayal at House on the Hill. We should play it sometime. It's really not hard.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down for sure.
Well, that's that. Mike, thank you so much for coming on to the restricted section finally. Your presence has been here all along through your beautiful logo that only sometimes gets flagged for having the Harry Potter lightning bowling glasses in it.
It happens. But yeah, no, thank you for having me on. And I'm glad that I finally gave up the fight of not coming on. And now I'm here and I had a great time.
Yeah, listeners.
I'm used to being the man behind the curtain,
Listeners, believe me when I tell you that he was originally invited on the podcast at least 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'm good.
But then we got you on How Do I Book, which is like a business obligation.
And like you had to do
Yeah.
it.
And people love to hear your voice over there. And I was like, I've put you on the restricted section. Don't fight me.
Yeah,
So
and I
thanks for not
didn't.
fighting.
I'm glad I'm here. My fear of podcasts is well gone.
Yay! You did
I'm
great.
now a participant.
I'll pick a good chapter for the wild things to all cover together for whatever the next book is. What is it? Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And Grace, as always, thank you so much for being my friend.
Oh my gosh. It's my pleasure.
I didn't even get that. That's fine.
Thanks to all of you for being my friends. And that's the end of the episode.
And we're out.
That's it, potheads. Thanks for listening to the Restricted Section. This podcast is produced and hosted by me, Christina Kahn. Our theme music was produced by Ryan Kahn. Our logo was designed by Michael Hardison. Please connect with us on Twitter @RestrictedPod, on Instagram @RestrictedSectionPod, on Facebook @RestrictedSectionPod, or in our Facebook group, The Restricted Section Detention Crew. Join our Patreon to get access to our Discord server, our bonus episodes, and other cool perks. We're also very happy to be a member of Deus Ex Media, where all you fucking nerds can find all kinds of fandom podcasts to suit your fancy.
What would you do if there was a terrifying prophecy about you?
Or you had to go on a perilous quest to save a friend.
Or everything you loved was in danger, and the world was about to end?
Whoa, slow down, Charlie. You know what to do when all that crazy stuff happens, right?
Call Ghostbusters?
No. You listen to Of the Eldest Gods.
Right. Sorry, Ray. Y'all can listen to our podcast about the Rick Riordan books.
We'll cover each chapter and talk about some of the fucked up mythological context.
And we'll probably get cursed by Zeus.
Let's hope that doesn't happen this season.
Catch Oteg on all your podcast platforms.
And eat some blue food while you listen.
Wish us luck while we survive the apocalypse.
Charlie.
What?
Dude, the more berries you are, the better for this show.
Deus Ex Media.